you, Sean. Morning, everybody. So don't you guys know that I'm still nervous? Nothing strange. So, alright, so it's Battlefield 1, right? Everybody is? Okay. And mine is the battlefield. Last night I did some research on some thoughts, like how many thoughts you have a day or a minute, or these kind of things. And what I found, like on 3 different websites, so is kind of wow. So you have between 50,000 and 70,000 thoughts a day. That means like 35 to 45 a minute. So just imagine if you acted on all these thoughts, what kind of mess you would be. Okay? So then also, it's also said that 98% of them are the exact same thoughts that you had or had yesterday. And then 80% of them are negative. So you have the same thoughts you had yesterday, 98% of them, and 80% are negative. So each day, you know, you're actually just like not getting any better. If you don't change what you're thinking, or change what you're doing, understand that what goes into your mind comes out of your heart. You know, you're in big trouble. So how do we stop like what goes into our minds, or what we think about? Or there's a battlefield also, I think, in this book. It's called Think About What You're Thinking About, which I'll get to a bit later. But the devil, people forget that there's a devil. I think I told someone that yesterday. When things go bad, you know, you blame God because, you know, why didn't God stop it or whatever. But if and things go good, you give credit to God. And people forget when things go bad, you know, there's a devil. He wants you to fail. He wants you to break down. He wants you to, you know, hate your neighbor. He wants to, and he does this by your thinking. He does it by what he plants into your mind, and he can be very persuasive. In Genesis, you know, Adam and Eve, you guys know the story. The devil just told them that. Did he really say that? That's what he did. Didn't he? You know, make it all. He does it. He makes like attractions, he makes stuff look very pretty, and you run after that. But he persuades them with a thought, with a little saying, with a little question that makes you think of things. You know, makes you think of. And then you just start wondering, and before you know it, I'll find this. I'll say, yeah, something I heard. I start with one thing, and then I end up, you know, my mom's house. But that's where my thoughts and things take me sometimes. So if we don't take captive these thoughts, we're in trouble. So I want you guys, well, I'm going to read, so the devil like plants thoughts in our minds. And Joyce Meyer, Stanley Joyce, says this. She says, Satan, he begins by bombarding our minds with a clever devised pattern of little nagging thoughts, suspicions, doubts, fears, wonderings, reasonings and theories. He moves slowly and cautious. After all well-laid plans take time. Remember, he has a strategy of warfare. He has studied us for a very long time. Let's see. I think, okay, let's just go on. I'll tell you guys now. He knows what it's like. He knows what we like and what we don't like. He knows our insecurities, our weaknesses, and our fears. He knows that our brothers are that what bothers us. He is willing to invest any amount of time it takes to defeat us. One of the devil's strong points is patience. The devil is a very smart. He's a very smart guy. Although he doesn't use, like the Bible also tells us, there's nothing under the sun. So there's nothing new that he improves on. He just knows us pretty well, and he knows what works, and he knows what you know, it gets us going, and he knows what, you know, brings us down, and he bombards you with these things all the time. Joyce and things says. So yeah, it starts with little thoughts. He is a liar, and it becomes strongholds in your mind. I'll show you guys a bit later on. So you guys want to turn your Bibles to like a Deuteronomy 30 verse 19. enjoy reading that? Yeah, it's fine. Take your time. Yeah, go for it. 30:19. Everybody there? Yeah.
This day I call heaven and earth as witness against you that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life so that you and your children may live.
Okay. So God put heaven and death and things before you. So it's your choice, your decisions, your thoughts and things are going to get you. So your decisions, I think, I'll make for you. Well, not purely on them, but your thoughts. What you think about is that you act on, and it's the kind of things you act on. So God wants us to choose life. Everybody, if you sit in these chairs, you probably were lucky sometimes, or you made some choices and things, and you didn't end up, dying, but you ended up here. So your thoughts and your kind of things got you here. Okay. So to change, Einstein uses this pretty cool. Rolf told me this, or Pastor also told me this, or like you said. Einstein said that you can't use the same kind of thinking that got you into a problem to get you out of that problem. So if your thinking got you here, you can't go out there thinking like this again. So we wash our minds and renew our minds with the Bible or the Word of God. Some values and those kind of things to make us stop thinking the way we do. I know also, since I've been here, and I've also learned that generational or thinking gets passed on through generation. I think my granddad had some issues with alcohol or whatever. And I believe that later on, look back even further, I think also there's more. So these kind of things can get passed on to you. So the way you're thinking can pass on to you to think the way you do. But for you to change that kind of thing, you can't think like that anymore. You have to change it, right? Okay. So through careful strategy and cunning deceit, Satan attempts to set us strongholds in our minds. A stronghold is an area in which we are held in bondage, in prison, due to a certain way of thinking. In this passage, the Apostle Paul tells us that we have the weapons we need to overcome Satan's strongholds. We will learn more about these weapons later, but right now, please notice that once again we've seen that we are engaged in warfare, spiritual warfare. So the verse says that we are battles not against flesh and blood, but evil principalities, dark forces, those kind of things. Guys know that, right? So, and then also says, so the summary of this little thing then, she says, this so far we have seen that we are engaged in warfare. So your mind is a battlefield, is what Jacques says. So in there, you win or lose battles at the end of the day. So, and then she says, our enemy is Satan, we all know that. So there's thoughts in your mind. 80% of your thoughts are negative, remember this. So that means that Satan's like really, really busy. And these could be thoughts about yourself. It could be thoughts that you're not pretty enough, or you're a piece of junk, or I really did bad there, or these kind of things. And I know when I just got here, I was so hard on myself for all the trouble and stuff I've caused. I remember the time thinking that, and eventually all those thoughts and things lead, well in my case, led to only one spot, and that was like, why am I still around? What am I still doing here? So, for those of you who have been there, it's a very dark and lonely place. Charlie has a nice word for it. It was a feeling of despair. The word despair, you guys want to know, if you don't know what it means the absence of hope. And it's a horrible place to be. But anyway, your thoughts and things take you there. You think you're not good enough, you think you're a piece of junk, and blah blah blah. I saw there for a second. I'm sorry. The devil works diligently to set up strongholds in our minds. He does the thought, strategy, and deceit through well-laid plans and deliberate deception. So he does nothing but to want to make you fail. He does nothing else. He does nothing. He even makes you fail people around you. And those kind of things. I emphasize on the devil because she usually speaks about the devil. But I want you guys to remember that when you're going through a tough time and when you're going through stuff that really hurts you, and although hurting, not really. I mean, you can go through some stuff to build some character and things like that. But the devil plants things in your mind and he wants them to grow. And if they grow, they're very hard to cut down. Okay, he's in no hurry. He takes his time to work out his plan. And then I'm going to ask Gareth, you read it, and there's a story there. Would you mind just reading that story? If you don't mind.
Okay. Mary and her husband, John, are not enjoying a happy marriage. There is a strife between them all the time. They are both angry, bitter, and resentful. They have 2 children who are being affected by the problems in the home. The strife is showing up in their schoolwork and behavior. One of the children is having stomach problems caused by nerves. Mary's problem is that she doesn't know how to let John be the head of their home. She is bossy, she wants to make all the decisions, handle the finances, and discipline the children. She wants to work so she will have her own money. She is independent, loud, demanding, and a nag. About now, you may be thinking, I've got her answer. She needs to know Jesus. She does know him. Mary received Jesus as a Savior 5 years ago, 3 years after she and John were married. Do you mean hasn't been a change in Mary since receiving Jesus as Savior? Yes, there has been change. She believes she is going to heaven, even though her bad behavior causes her to feel constant condemnation. She has hope now. Before she met Jesus, she was miserable and hopeless. Now she is just miserable. Mary knows that her attitude is wrong. She wants to change. She has received counseling from 2 people, and she gets in almost every prayer line asking for victory over anger, rebellion, unforgiveness, resentment, and bitterness. Why hasn't she seen more improvement? The answer is found in Romans 12, verse 2. Do not be conformed to this world, fashioned after and adapted to its external superficial customs, but be transformed, changed, by the entire renewal of your mind, by its new ideals and its new attitude, so that you may prove for yourselves what is the good and acceptable and perfect will of God, even the thing which is good and acceptable and perfect in His sight for you. Mary has strongholds in her mind. They have been there for years. She doesn't even understand how they got there. She knows she shouldn't be rebellious, bossy, nagging, etc. But she doesn't know what to do to change her nature. It seems that she simply reacts in certain situations in an unseemly way because she can't control her actions. Mary can't control her actions because she doesn't control her thoughts. She doesn't control her thoughts because there are strongholds in her mind that the devil sets up early in her life. Satan begins to initiate his well-laid plans and to sow his deliberate deception at a very young age. In Mary's case, her problems started long ago, in childhood. As a child, Mary had an extremely domineering father who often spanked her just because he was in a bad mood. If she made one wrong move, he would vent his anger on her. For years, she suffered helplessly as her father mistreated her and her mother. He was disrespectful in all his ways towards his wife and daughter. Mary's brother, however, could do no wrong. It seemed as if he was favored just because he was a boy. By the time she was 16, Mary had been brainwashed for years by Satan, who had told her lies that went something like this. Men really think they are something. They are all alike. You can't trust them. They will hurt you and take advantage of you. If you're a man, you've got it made in life. You can do anything you want. You can order people around, be the boss, treat people any way you please, and nobody, especially not wives or daughters, can do anything about it. As a result, Mary's mind was resolved. When I get away from here, nobody's ever going to push me around again. Satan was already waging a war on the battlefield of her mind. Play those thoughts over and over in your head, 100,000 times or more, over a period of 10 years, and see if you're ready to get married and become a sweet, submissive, adoring wife. Even if by some miracle you should want to, you won't know how. This is the kind of mess in which Mary finds herself today. What can she do? What can any of us do in such a situation?
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the way you fight these thoughts and those kind of things, it says that you must renew your mind in the Bible, right, with God's teachings and His principles and, verses and things. So it also, then it says in John 8:31-32, it says, if you abide in my word, hold fast to my teaching and live in accordance with them, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So what's the truth? The truth is that you're not a jungle. You're not good enough. Well, you are not good enough. You are awesome in every way. You are a child of God. You are walking in righteousness. You are busy changing your lives. You are busy repairing all the broken relationships that you guys are in. You are busy with all these things. So these are all truths about you. So the devil clouds these kind of thoughts and those kind of things. I remember in my first, I told you guys earlier, I remember my first period, whatever. I started thinking about all the rubbish and stuff that I did, which is normal. But I was only here for 2 weeks or so, and I was starting to think about my end time here. I was only initially going to stay for 30 days. Rolf caught me with that one. Initially here for 30 days, but I'm gratefully good. He's a mentor of mine, anyway. So initially I wanted to stay. So in 2 weeks in my program, after my life story and those kind of things, I started to think about what I'm going to do when I leave here. Get things started, as they say. I hear that a lot, get my life started once I leave here. It's fun. I hear it a lot from everybody, so you're kind of thinking. So you're starting to think about the end result. Instead of focusing on what you need now and what you need to do now, which is get through this day. Start one day. Oh, I hate that cliche. It's so stupid when people say it, but it really works if you take a situation at a time and you take a day for a time. So today you might be negative. I spoke to someone last night. You'll see that your bad days get less and less and less, and your good days get more and more and more. So you'll have, when you start, you maybe have 4 bad days and 1 good day, and then you'll have maybe 2 bad days and 2 good days, and then you'll have 5 good days and 1 bad day. But all the things that you learn in those 5 good days, is you should apply those things in those bad days. But people forget that while you're here, you are changing your life. Not when you leave here. It's the wrong kind of thinking. It's the wrong kind of thoughts in your head, thinking about what you're going to do when you leave here. If you can't even do that you're in now, if you can't even do this, what's going to change there? Nothing, Ruth. Nothing. And I also don't know why rehab should be a bad experience, man. I don't understand why people think it's such horrible to be here. Changing your life should be something you look forward to. There are no people who would love to come here and for 6 months just work on themselves, get whatever bothered them out of here, and speak to someone who's really wise, and sort out your crap. And then it starts here, it doesn't start there. What makes you think if you can't do this, you're going to do it there? I don't explain all, never mind, don't explain it. But what's going to be different? You've got the chance now to change. And you want to know where you are in your program? If someone gives you extras, that's when you know how far you come. I've also seen some people giving extras that are handling it pretty well. Being extended or those kind of things. If your thinking, if your thoughts, whatever got you here, and the people that are much wiser than you are and has got their best interests at heart, don't you think that if they say you should stay a bit longer, you should? I hope you guys grasp that. I hope you guys understand that. This isn't child's play, it's life and death. I'm not a doomsday speaker. I'm just one guy who likes to preach bad things. Or not even preach, just talk. I don't preach. Yeah, man, if your choices and things and what the devil has done to you and those kind of things ended up here, you need to change yourself here to change what you can do and things like that. And a lot of the times, we change, but our situation, that change doesn't change anything, so we change and things. And as soon as we hit the first trouble, or as soon as we go back out and we come in contact with the things that really hurt us, you come to realize that you haven't really dealt with that thing. It could be a family member, it could be a situation, it could be friends, which all comes down to teachability. You must understand that while you're sitting here, you don't know what's best for your life at this point. Okay, let's go Paddy Joyce. So our weapons are the word, used in various ways. We can pray the word, speak the word, sing the word, study the word. And as Paul tells us in 2 Corinthians, our weapons are not carnal, fleshly weapons, they are spiritual weapons. We need spiritual weapons because we are fighting a master spirit. Yes, even the devil himself. Even Jesus used the weapons of the word in the wilderness to defeat the devil. You guys remember that? You know, the devil took Jesus to a mountain and he tempted him with the right things and used scriptures to back him up, which is cool. You guys read that? Gosh, pretty inspiring stuff. And then also, as Mary learns to use her weapon, she will begin to tear down the strongholds that have ever been built in her mind. She will know the truth that will set her free. She will see that not all men are like her earthly father. Some are, but many are not. Her husband John is not. John loves Mary very much. Amen. Okay. So Gareth, I'm going to hit John's side there, if you don't mind.
The other side of the story involves John. He too has problems that are a contributing factor to the situation he and Mary face in their marriage, home and family. John should be taking his position as head of the family. God intends for him to be the priest of his home. John is also born again and knows the proper order for family life. He knows that he should not allow his wife to run the household, the finances, the children, and him. He knows all this, but he doesn't do anything about it except feel defeated and retreat into TV and sports. John is hiding from his responsibility because he hates confrontation. He prefers to take a passive attitude, thinking, well, if I just leave the situation alone, perhaps it will work itself out. Or he excuses himself from taking real action by saying, I'll pray about it. Of course, prayer is good, but not if it is merely a way of avoiding responsibility. Let me clarify what I mean when I say that John should assume his God-given position in the home. I don't mean that he should come on like Mr. Macho, ranting and raving about his authority. Ephesians 5 verse 25 teaches us that a man should love his wife as Christ loved the church. John needs to take responsibility, and with responsibility comes authority. He should be firm with his wife, loving, but firm. He should reassure Mary that even though she was hurt as a child, as she releases herself to God through trusting him, she will gain confidence that not all men are like her father was. John should be doing a lot of things, but like Mary, he also has mindsets that open the door for the devil to hold him captive. There is also a battle going on in John's mind. Like Mary, he was verbally abused in childhood. His domineering mother had a sharp tongue and frequently said hurtful things to him. Things like, John, you're such a mess. You'll never amount to anything. John tried hard to please his mother because he craved her approval, as all children do. But the harder he tried, the more mistakes he made. He had a habit of being clumsy. So his mother told him all the time what a klutz he was. Of course, he dropped things because he was trying so hard to please that it made him nervous. And so he defeated his purpose. He also experienced some unfortunate rejection from children with whom he desired to be friends. This type of thing happens to most of us at some time in our lives. But it devastated John because he already felt rejected by his mother. And there was a girl whom he really liked in his early high school years who rejected him for another boy. By the time all these things had tailed up in John's life and the devil had worked on him, building strongholds in his mind for years and years, John simply had no courage to be anything but quiet, shy, and withdrawn. John is a low-key, tough person who simply chooses not to make waves. For years he has been having thoughts directed into him that go something like this. There is no point in telling anyone what you think. They won't listen to you anyway. If you want people to accept you, you just need to go along with whatever they want. The few times he tried to stand his ground on an issue, it seemed that he always ended up losing. So he finally decided that confrontation wasn't worth the effort. I'm going to lose anyway in the end, he reasoned. So why even start anything?
Okay. So then the verses, what is the answer? The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me, the anointed one, the Messiah, to preach the good news, the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to announce release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to send me forth a deliverance to those who are opposed, who are downtrodden, bruised, crushed, and broken down by calamity, to proclaim the good, the accepted and acceptable year of the Lord, the day when the salvation and the free favor of God profusely abound. Okay, so I'm going to skip a little here to the way out, which is, I don't know, maybe it's in your book, this one's page 15. This is a very cool verse for me. I enjoy it very much. I talk on it a lot, to some of the guys, about every time you're in some kind of trouble, the Lord provides a way out. I've experienced that a lot of the times, but I've never, recognized it until I started thinking clearly. So any situation that you find yourself in, I don't want to go too heavy, but every situation that you find yourself in that is not good for you, you have the eyes to see it and the ears to hear it. God will provide a way out. He won't leave you there. He doesn't want you there. It's not for you the place to be. You're pure in His eyes. So anywhere you find yourself that it doesn't sit right with you, God's there and He will provide a way out. For no temptation, no trial regarded as excitement to sin, no matter how it comes or where it leads, has overtaken you, laid hold on you that is not common to man. So that means that nothing that you are going through is unique. There is no situation that you're in right now that is not being gone through someone else. You are not dead. You are here, changing your life. So, if you think there's a thing here called uniqueness, I think you guys can read it again, sharpen up on it. It's very cool. The situation that you find yourself in, you think. The thing is, as soon as you let go of that pride, and as soon as you let go of listen, someone has gone through this, you become a bit easier, saying, all right, someone can help me through this. But anyway, okay. There is no temptation or trial that's come to you that is beyond human resistance, that is not adjusted and adopted by belonging to human experience, as such as a man can bear. But God is faithful to His word and to His compassionate nature. He can be trusted not to let you be tempted and tried and designed beyond your ability and strength. So, any situation that you find yourself in that you think you cannot bear, you are there and you can. So you're in situations, you think that you can't come out of it, but you can. You think you can't, you're right. If you think you can, so terrible to say. But yes, you find yourself in these places and things, and nothing. I believe the Word of God with all my heart. I've experienced it, I've seen it in other people. I told someone the other day that everybody's praying. Not everybody. People pray to hear God's voice. People pray to hear God. They want to know what to do. Lord Jesus, please just help me, my path and those kind of things. There are two ways that you can hear God constantly. Well, one way you can hear Him constantly, and another way, which He uses a lot with me, He talks through other people to me. He uses other people to talk to me. So at this stage where I am at, God uses my peers and those kind of things to speak through them, to speak truth into my life. So with what happens when I listen and obey, I get blessed. And another way is read the Bible. If you want to hear God's voice, read the Bible. If you want to hear God speak to you, tell you who you are, where you're going, what you need, who you are, what to do in situations. It's practical things. The book of James changed my life. If you want a book to read, if you're early in recovery or haven't read it before, read James. Talks about the tongue, talks about a lot of things. Talks about double-mindedness, which is thought patterns and those kind of things. If you're double-minded, you're unstable in all your ways, not just one, not one, in all your ways. If you're double-minded about your recovery, you are unstable in all your ways, not just one. And stop seeing rehab as a bad experience, man. See, that's something to change your life. You can see some of your faces, it just goes. You're here. Use it. So Father God, I want to thank you for this time, Lord. I want to thank you for your presence here. I pray that you go with everyone here, Lord, everyone. And I pray that you keep on ministering to them, Lord. I pray that you keep on showing your face to them, Father God. I pray that you hug them and lead them with compassionate hearts like you are, Lord. I pray for any trouble, broken in the heartedness, Lord. I pray that you come and mend those things. I pray for relationships to be restored, Lord. I pray for any confusion, against any confusion, Lord, comes upon us here with not knowing who we are, knowing what we need to do. I pray that you give us clarity in all our areas. I pray this in Jesus' name, amen. Amen.